History remembers him as a god among men, a minor Corsican noble who rose from the mud of the French Revolution to crown himself emperor of the world. But behind the stoic marble statues and the epic battle victories lies a psychological void that most people are too afraid to look into. Carl Jung once said, "The brighter the light, the darker the shadow it casts." And no light in history burned brighter than Napoleon Bonaparte. Today, we aren't looking at his maps or his empire. We are looking at his shadow, the suppressed, ruthless ego that eventually consumed the man who tried to own the world. The archetype of the Rakshasa. To understand Napoleon, you have to understand the concept of the shadow. In psychology, the shadow is the part of our personality we hide from the world, our rawest ambitions, our deepest insecurities, and our capacity for destruction. Napoleon didn't just have a shadow, he was lived by it. Philosophers often call this the Rakshasa archetype, the supreme individualist, a person who lives entirely for their own self-assertion. While his public persona was the visionary leader bringing law and order to Europe, his shadow was a predator that viewed human beings as mere statistics on a chessboard. He once famously said, "A man like me cares little for the life of 1,000,000 men." That isn't just a quote. It's a window into a psyche that has completely detached from human empathy in exchange for historical immortality. The 3 shadow traits. There are 3 specific traits of Napoleon's shadow that built his empire and then destroyed it. First, the narcissistic void. Napoleon's ambition wasn't about France. It was about filling a hole left by his childhood as an outsider. He was a Corsican in a French world, mocked for his accent and his height. His shadow responded by demanding a crown that the whole world had to bow to. Second, the Machiavellian mask. He was a master of the manufactured messiah, trick. He knew that to control the masses, he had to appear infallible. He controlled the press, rewrote his own history, and faked his downfalls to reset public sympathy. He didn't lead through truth, he led through the illusion of destiny. Third, the egoistic destruction. This is the moment the shadow takes over. At the end of his career, Napoleon stopped listening to his generals. His ego had become so massive that he believed he could command the weather itself. This muddied consciousness led him into the frozen hell of Russia. He wasn't fighting an army anymore. He was fighting his own delusion of omnipotence. The collapse and the lesson script. The tragedy of the shadow is that if you do not integrate it, it will eventually betray you. By the time Napoleon reached Waterloo, the shadow had fully eclipsed the man. He had lost the quickness of mind that made him a genius because he could no longer see reality. He only saw his own reflection. He died on a lonely island, a prisoner of the very world he tried to conquer. But there is a lesson here for us. We all carry a Napoleon inside us, an ambitious shadow that wants to win at any cost. If we ignore it, it grows in the dark until it sabotages our lives. But if we face it, like we are doing now, we gain the power to lead without being destroyed by our own ego. Napoleon's story isn't just history, it's a warning. The higher you climb, the more important it is to look down at the shadow you're casting. If you found this psychological breakdown helpful, subscribe for more deep dives into the minds of history's most powerful figures. And tell me in the comments, which historical figure's shadow should we uncover next?